He said that if a fly falls into your drink, you should dunk the fly in the drink because one of the wings has a disease, but the other wing has the cure for the disease. He told his followers to drink camel urine as medicine. This stuff is endless in the Muslim sources. Where did this nonsense come from? Muhammad apparently just believed whatever people told him.
David Wood, the same David Wood who tried to kill his father with a hammer and was put into a mental hospital by his mother and was cursed with 2 disabled kids, doesn't understand historical context to certain hadith which are found in Ibn Hajar's commentary of Bukhari, which is Fath al-Bari. Those hadith were not meant for all times, rather for the people around the Prophet Muhammad's time. So those hadith aren't general recommendations for people living like today. They were only meant for people during the Prophet Muhammad's time. Also, if the Prophet Muhammad was sincere, as even the critics of him admit, he wouldn't have copied off people blindly, or he wouldn't have copied people around him blindly. So David Wood's argument falls apart, as the Prophet Muhammad's sincerity is proof that, as even the critics admit, that that the Prophet Muhammad was sincere. So if he was sincere, he wouldn't have knowingly plagiarized stuff off other people. Plus, these hadith don't seem to be divine revelation. They just seem to be what the Prophet Muhammad heard from his people, and he's passing on to other people. So his Arab people were probably recommending, dipping the fly in the drink, or drinking camel urine to ease or to have some kind of medicine for certain illnesses going around in Medina. And the Prophet Muhammad heard that from his people and is passing that information on to other people. So that's what those hadith seem to imply. Those hadith are not general recommendations for everybody. It's just what the Prophet Muhammad heard, and from the Prophet Muhammad heard from his people, the Arabs, and is telling other Arabs on how to get medicine for whatever illness they were facing at that time in the 6th century. So the conclusion we can draw here is that both those hadith do not say drink with the fly or drink camel urine. Rather, the first hadith says dunk the fly in the drink. It doesn't say drink with the fly. According to an ABC News article, the fly does have some antidote in it, but it seems like this is not a general recommendation for everybody. Rather, some Arab tale or some Arab remedy that the Prophet Muhammad heard from his people and was passing on from what he heard. It's not a general recommendation for everybody to drink camel urine or to drink with the fly. And again, if we go back to that hadith does not say drink the liquid with the fly in it. It just says dunk the fly in the liquid. So it's not a general recommendation for everyone to do. Same thing with the camel urine hadith. That hadith is not a general recommendation for everybody, but rather for those camel herders in Medina. But regardless, these 2 hadith don't seem to be divine revelation. They just seem to be what the Prophet Muhammad heard from other Arabs and was passing it down to his people in the 6th and 7th centuries. So it has nothing to do. So these hadith are not general recommendations for everybody. They were just hadith that the Prophet Muhammad heard from other people and was passing down to his people for some kind of general medicine for some kind of illness that was going on in Medina. Regardless, there's no error here, and the only one who is gullible is David Wood, because he believes any kind of anti-Islamic material he believes from anybody. So David Wood never does any fact checking, and he just quotes hadith out of their historical context to prove whatever dumb argument he wants to make against Islam, because we all know David Wood loves the drama, and he loves the controversy, and he loves attention seeking. Stay tuned for more videos coming up ahead refuting anti-Islamic claims.